Okay.
Yeah. So, we're here to tell the story, our testimony about our missing suitcase and the sequence of events that led, to all the stuff that God did around this.
Yeah. What God did this week.
There's that. Well,
It's not the week we're recording it, but it's a week.
Okay, so we were leaving for Jamaica, and you're packing, and I came upstairs and saw Jeremy with my document with the folder with all of our documents.
We have a document folder with a lot of our documents in it. Banking documents,
birth certificates,
all
of that sort of stuff, all my professional certifications, all of that stuff. And I said to him, hey, make sure you're not putting that in the checked bag, because checked bags get lost.
Right.
Put it in your carry-on. And so that's what he did. Around the same time this was happening, after we booked our tickets, I think we booked our tickets the Friday night a week before we left.
That sounds about right.
I had gotten a new passport this year in my married name, Pope, not Robe. But my American Airlines,
which is another story of what God did.
Yeah. It's my American, and we're giving you this backstory because it's important. But my American Airlines, my name in the American Airlines portal was still under my maiden name, Robe. So even though I put in my married name as we were booking the flight and so forth, it still showed up on the ticket as Robe, not Pope, which would have been a problem because my passport is in the name Pope. And so we started this whole thing around trying to change my name. And by the time we got closer to leaving, because we were leaving by the Thursday before we were supposed to leave, I reached out to American Airlines, and they were basically telling me, some stuff that I didn't understand about how to go about changing it, because they got it updated in the portal, but they didn't change it on the ticket, right? And so I ended up saying to the person, okay, what do I need to do? Is there somebody that I need to speak to in person, etc.? And they said to me, all right, you can do it at the
check-in counter.
At the check-in counter. Anything else you want to add there before we move on? Now we're fast forwarding to the day you married me because I was quirky. Stop it.
That was only forwarding. It wasn't fast forwarding.
So now to the day.
We get to the check-in counter, and this is in Atlanta, and Aletha helps us.
Who was Aletha?
She was the special check-in counter lady.
Yeah, I loved her hair.
Yeah.
She has amazing hair, guys.
But she had her own bananas, though. She did not need our bananas. One of the other ladies took the extra banana.
And we had one left over, but that's a whole other story. Keep going.
Not after she took it.
We had 2 bananas.
Right.
We gave one, and then there was another lady. What?
No, you ate one, and then there was another lady who had one.
Oh, the other lady did not want her bananas either. Okay,
yep.
keep going, baby.
So, we got checked in. The name change was finished. Everything was fine. And I had to switch some additional stuff I had to switch about 5 pounds worth of stuff, 6 pounds worth of stuff from my checked bag to the carry-on bag. Because the checked bag was 76 pounds, so it was well overweight for the 70 pounds. So, went through security, and I learned that if you pack a bunch of electronics in your carry-on bag, like 2 Amazon Echoes, a bunch of power strips, a bunch of USB cables, a bunch of other stuff that was intended to be heavy to remove weight from the checked bag, then you get the remarkable opportunity of having your bag rescanned, and then you get to unpack everything so they can see what it is, with no belt and no shoes, of course. And then you get to repack everything on the floor behind the TSA station, which they helpfully provide a floor area right past security, as you all know. There's no tables or anything. The floor is really what I wanted. That was perfect. So while everyone's stepping inches away, I got to repack everything in that, and then redress myself, because I'm a big boy. I can do that. I'm very good at it. And then we had a few minutes before we left. We got on the plane, and they started announcing we're only taking 25 overhead bags. There's not enough room. It seems like the plane could have been built differently. I don't know. But anyway, they were only taking 25. Mine got checked. So I gate checked the bag.
But that wasn't it.
No. Yes. That's all.
There's a piece there.
That's all. What else?
I am here to keep him honest, because Jeremy Pope's checked bag could not hold in the overhead bin.
Well, right. That was
too
the
big.
real thing. Yeah. So it was too wide at that point, because I had not been able to repack it carefully, and I didn't think about repacking it tightly, carefully, compactly, and it was now too big for the overhead compartment. So I checked it.
They gave you a tag.
No problem. They give me a tag, everything as it should be, and we go to Miami.
Yeah.
Shanielle has a feeling in Miami.
But hold on, before you get there, when we get to Miami, even though it's typical for bags to continue on to the next destination,
It's not typical when going international.
No, it's not typical when you're coming from an international country into the States. But when you're leaving the States, it is typical.
Oh,
so
okay.
that was one of the things that we checked, like, okay, do we need to go pick up our bag anywhere, etc. The lady said, the air hostess said no, and we're like, all right, cool. But when we're in Miami, I could not shake the feeling that there was something wrong with that bag. And to the point where I went to their desk agent.
Yeah, desk agent.
To ask, can you check on this bag for me? And the guy, the first lady said she needed the tag. I went back and I got the tag and so forth. The guy looked it up and he said to me, yep, I am seeing that bag tagged under Jeremy's name. Everything is okay. And I'm like, all right, cool. I don't know what that was about, but at least I checked.
So we had about an 8-hour layover in Miami, and then we got to Kingston at 10:30 p.m.
About that.
I think we're on time.
Mm-hmm.
So the bag didn't come out, and that was a very slow process anyway. So we were the last people there at the airport, actually.
By the time we were done.
So we were there until 12:30 a.m. and it didn't come through. Turns out that the pink tag that we had been given was not under Jeremy's name. They had put it under Penny's name. Now my name, as far as I know, isn't Penny, and the bag
Are you
also,
sure?
as far
Have
as
you
I
been lying to me all of this time?
You're gonna mess up the transcript.
Oh, keep going.
And also the bag, as far as we know, never turned into a stroller. What I'd been given was a stroller tag, but we didn't find that out until Kingston. So we filled out a bag check claim, and then we went on to the taxi, who'd been very helpfully and patiently waiting for us.
But before we get to the taxi, baby, so I remember hearing all of this, and I'm like, how how in the world are they gonna find this bag?
Turns
None of
out-
the checks that I did in Miami made any difference. Based on what they had for us, there was like they could
Yeah.
even ask us what's the color of the Suitcase, and we're like, well, I have a picture of it, and she wrote down something, but I'm like, the 1 + 1 never adding up to 2 there.
Yeah, they didn't have anything in their records about my bag. They couldn't even tell us that it had been swapped with Penny's stroller, because all we knew was that we had Penny's stroller tag, not that Penny had my bag tag. So there was no way to locate the bag in the system from their own
What we had
from their own records.
Yeah.
So we get to from Kingston to Old Harbor, or Whole Arbor, as everyone around here calls it.
Yeah.
A big old whole tree. And then we wait. We call. Did we call
No,
again?
we
No, we
didn't.
didn't call again.
We
But we got to
were-
call the next.
Before we did,
Mhm.
we were here. I think it was probably the Monday. It was a Monday. We were trying to get some business thing done, and then it hit us. Oh, the documents.
We realized there were even more documents in that than we had thought. We have 2 document folders.
I forgot that my documents was in that.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, oh my lord, what is this gonna mean for me? There are documents in there that I would have needed for, like, business that we were gonna be doing
Visa
here.
applications and business here, and yeah.
And so you out of the blue said, baby, let's pause to pray about this.
It wasn't out of the blue. That
Yeah.
was the plan.
But it was, for me, it was kind of like, yeah, okay. And then you said that you felt like you should post about it on Facebook, asking people to pray with us around this thing. And I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
But okay.
Yeah. It was a little uncomfortable, but I felt God saying, post so that people can pray and share in the joy once the prayer is answered. So post as an act of faith. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
And so he did that. And then we went about our day because we prayed about it.
Can't do
we
anything
obeyed the
else.
one thing that God told us to do about it, and then we went about our way.
And that's part of what we've been learning lately is when God tells you what to do, just do that one thing, and don't try and create a better plan than what God planned for us. Yes, beat the arrows against the ground until they break, so to speak, but don't second guess God's plan.
And even the beating the arrows against the ground, like if we look at that story, the arrows that were beaten was an instruction from the man of God.
Oh yeah, it was a
Right?
direct instruction.
So it's not beating random arrows, it's
Right.
that's the arrow.
Right.
But that's a whole
So
other,
we did everything God told us to do thoroughly.
Yeah. And then we left it.
Yeah.
A couple hours later, my phone rang. And I'm like, who is calling me from Miami? I don't know anybody in Miami that would be calling me direct like this.
And now we know Elizabeth.
And so I answered the call, like I paused the call I was on and answered the call because I'm like, maybe this is the American Airlines.
It was American Airlines.
Oh yeah, it was.
Mhm.
But so I answered, and this lady is like, "Hello, may I speak to Chanel Robe?" And I'm like, "Speaking." And she's like, "Chanel, I think I have your bag here." This is not me roughly paraphrasing. And I'm like, "Oh my God, this must be Jeremy's bag." But I'm like, in my head, I'm like, then why is she calling me and not Jeremy? Maybe they found it through the form that we filled out on Saturday Saturday
Right.
after it was lost.
Turns out that form did
She-
basically nothing.
Yeah, it did nothing because
Yeah.
she said to me, "I am here wondering how your bag is lost and you have not submitted a report that it's
Right.
lost." And then that's when I'm like, oh, it's because we submitted a report under my husband's name, right?
So when we got to the check-in counter, by that time we had two different record locators for the flights. I was still under Chenielle Robe because she booked both tickets. I was under Chenielle Robe, and she was now under Chenielle Pope. And so it split it in a way that they were not connected under any American Airlines account at that point. And so there was no way to connect those flights really.
Yeah.
Elizabeth went full detective
mode to
going
find it.
through the documents in the bag. I found her name, found both record locators.
I don't know if she found both record locators,
She did.
but she
Yeah.
was like, she managed to correlate my maiden name on the documents in the bag to my flight from Atlanta, then from Atlanta to Miami, and all of that stuff, to be able to reach out to me. It's like, okay, if this girl is da-da-da, must be, let me try, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I cried. Elizabeth told me, and I started to cry, and I
She
started
cried.
to bless her.
Elizabeth cried too.
Elizabeth cried
Yep.
too, and Elizabeth encouraged me, like, God bless her heart, right? But by the time we were finished, she was able to we were able to give her the information that we had put, the claim number that we had put in. She found Jeremy's details. We confirmed where we wanted the bag to be sent to, and she told us, there's a flight landing in Jamaica, I think at like after 12 that day, and she's like, your bag is going to be on that flight. And so sent us a picture of the bag and everything, and we were like, oh, that's our bag.
She sent us a picture with the rush tag on it, so we know she had seen it right there.
Yeah, and so
she was the Sherlock Holmes of bag detective finding. Yeah, great job, Elizabeth.
Yeah, we're so grateful for her.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting about talking to Elizabeth, because Elizabeth, it wasn't just about the bag, the conversation with her. It was a conversation as well that God used to encourage me so deeply. When I tell you Elizabeth poured, right? And it's what I needed. It's what I needed that morning. So that was really, really cool to see how God could use a lost bag to also give me something that I need.
We mentioned the Facebook thread to Elizabeth, and she was kind of blown away by that as well. And by the time we were talking with Elizabeth, I think there were something like 20 people praying and 65 reactions on the post. So just being able to share that with, I don't know, it's nothing that we did. It was all what God did, and a lost bag may seem like a small thing, but Elizabeth had to do some serious digging to make it happen. We were very glad to have fallen into her quite capable hands around this, instead of someone who didn't care or who wasn't led in the same way that she was.
Yeah, and then even with that, it's like so we got the bag, I think the next day.
Yeah, about a day and a half later. The delivery driver was not the Sherlock Holmes of finding addresses.
Yeah, but he did his best.
He got it here.
He got it here. And I shared with Elizabeth that we got it, and we had promised to share with her the link from the post. And I remember when she saw it, she said to us, I'm sharing this with my boss as well. But it was so humbling to see how God could use one lost bag to touch so many people.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
But mostly us.
Right? So that's the story of our bag.
So that was the big thing that God did for us the week of the November 8th, I think, was our flight.
Was it? Yeah, I think about that week.
Yeah.
Okay.